So today's topic was really chosen for me because it is absolutely impossible to ignore a story of this magnitude. Once again, someone fired at Donald Trump, former president and current candidate for presidency of the United States. I wonder how often this used to happen, because as far as I remember, nothing of the sort happened to Obama, to candidacies. Nothing of the sort happened to George Bush. Nothing of the sort happened to Hillary Clinton. How far back? Do you have to go back all the way back to Kennedy to find a U.S. president getting shot at? I wonder. Now, this is the second attempt within a month or so, a bit more maybe. And somehow the Secret Service just can't stop it. These random people, lone gunmen equipped with barely anything, just waltz up there and try to shoot the president, and nobody does anything about it. Interesting. I wonder how it keeps happening. So this is a CNN article about the guy who did it, who is a 58-year-old man. Apparently, he's called Ruth. Ryan Wesley Ruth. Authorities suspect was planning to attack the former president as he played a round of golf. Basically, he wrote things on X, Twitter, like Biden's campaign should be called something like KADAF, Keep America Democratic and Free. Trump should be MASA, Make Americans Slaves Again, Master. Democracy is on the ballot and we cannot lose. Yeah, somebody who believes that this presidential candidate might enslave them if they elected may well take the shot. I'm not surprised. But who convinced him of this? Trump was president for 4 years, and he did not try anything of the sort before. He did nothing to restrict your freedoms. How exactly did you reach the conclusion that you're going to become a slave if Trump is elected? I wonder. Who convinced you? Whose rhetoric was it? Anyway, so in June 2020, Ruth appeared to say that he had voted for Trump in 2016, but that he had since withdrawn his support of the former president. While you were my choice in 2016, I and the world hoped that President Trump would be different and better than the candidate, but we all were greatly disappointed. Disappointment, that's his mistake. And it seems you are getting worse and devolving. I will be glad when you are gone. Yeah, I think he's in the vast minority. It seems as though most Trump supporters are still supporting him. In 2020, he received more votes than in 2016. It's just that, strangely, though he received basically more votes than anyone in the, I believe, history of the US elections, Biden somehow outdid that too. Very strange. But moving on. Ruth also has ties to North Carolina, where public records show he registered as an unaffiliated voter without a party in 2012. He voted in that state's Democratic primary in March of this year, contributed more than $100 to Act Blue, which processes donations for Democrats, expressed strong support for Ukraine, saying things like, "We need to burn the Kremlin to the ground," his words, not mine. He said, I quote, "I am willing to fly to Krakow and go to the border of Ukraine to volunteer and fight and die. Can I be the example we must win?" Ruth said in an X post in March 2022. Interesting. Sounds awfully extreme to me. I wonder who radicalized this man. He also tried to enlist Afghan conscripts in a flurry of posts beginning in October 2023, presenting himself as an off-the-books liaison for the Ukrainian government. Afghan soldiers. Ukraine is somewhat interested in 3,000 soldiers, so I need every soldier that has a passport to send me a copy of their passport to send to Ukraine, he wrote in one such post, which was published in English and Pashto. Ruth's LinkedIn page says he started a company in 2018 called Camp Box Honolulu, which builds storage units and tiny houses. He also had an altercation with a Hawaiian man who gave Ruth a bad review on Facebook. That man told CNN he was unsettled by Ruth's response to the criticism that the house was shabby and shoddy. He basically asked Ruth to improve the work via email, and Ruth ranted at him. He just kind of started ranting about, you think because you have money you're better than me, Levy said, adding that Ruth also mentioned having gone to Ukraine to fight against Russia. I kind of decided maybe I should just let it go for the sake of my family. Lovely man. Records from North Carolina, dating back a couple of decades, show that he had scrapes with the law. In 2002, Ruth was arrested after he was pulled over by police and allegedly put his hand on a firearm before barricading himself in a business, according to a Greensboro News and Record article that year that cited police. A law enforcement confirmed the arrest to CNN on Sunday. Public records reveal several court cases involving Ruth since the 1990s. State and federal authorities have repeatedly accused him of failing to pay his taxes on time. In 1998, the state alleged he committed an offense related to a worthless check, so that case was dismissed. And judges have ordered him to pay tens of thousands of dollars to plaintiffs in various civil suits. So, obviously a troubled man, but still a Democratic operative, essentially. He very much believed in their causes. He believed they were fighting for freedom and democracy and that Trump was essentially Cheeto Hitler. And so I think he was radicalized by the media and Democrat politicians. I think this is the second failure of the Secret Service in a very short period of time. Something's definitely going on here. This is the Secret Service ends protection for RFK Jr. after he suspends presidential campaign. It's a story from a while ago, August 25. I still think we should remember this. RFK Jr. is still a very high-profile political figure. He's still involved in campaign for Donald Trump. I wonder about the safety of removing his protection. There's also this from Josh Hawley. He is a US Senator from Missouri, and he's talking here about how a whistleblower says Secret Service HQ told agents working at Butler, PA event where Trump was first shot not to request additional manpower or resources for the rally, and warned any such requests would be denied. Contradicts Director Rowe testimony, who said no resources were ever denied. There were many problems. Do you remember the sloped roofs thing? Where basically they claimed that the roof the gunman was standing on or crawling on was too sloped to be safe for the secret agents. There was so much mockery of this. There are so many videos of people and even cows on those sloped roofs pretending to be training for the Secret Service new unit or something. It's all tongue-in-cheek, but yeah, it is laughable the way that this has all been covered up. There was also some reporting about how the person in charge of the entire trip for Trump back the first time he was shot at, failing key tests as part of the training they're supposed to get in order to have received their position, and being approved anyway by Cheadle, who was fired, if you remember, after the first time Trump was shot at. So yeah, this is finally a Babylon Bee article. I thought try to put a note of levity at the end because this is really bleak. But it basically says media assures Americans the real threat is the side that keeps getting shot at. I'm personally quite fond of the Babylon Bee. I'm not a Christian, but I think we have quite a few values in common, and they have a great sense of humor. I won't read the entire thing. You can go to the website and find this and many other good articles, but a few keynotes is the people getting shot at and murdered. They are the real threats, explained CNN correspondent Dana Bash. Every time you see another attempt to kill a Republican, remember that Democrats are the party of peace and tolerance. The media also condemned Republicans for using such harsh rhetoric and causing people to try to murder them. We hereby call on the people getting shot to stop being mean. This is them making a mockery of the rhetoric from the Democrats, claiming that it's Trump's words, Trump's own rhetoric, that brought about him getting shot, as if he deserved it or something. I think we can comfortably compare this to Democrats saying that a young, beautiful woman, skimpily clad, walking through a dark alley, should not be said that she was putting herself in danger. Because it's supposed to be safe for her. We should just arrest the criminal or teach them not to be criminals. Now, obviously, I agree that the criminals shouldn't do it and they are the ones at fault. And yet, at the same time, it's obvious that if you do something of that sort, then you are putting yourself in a position where it is far more likely than other behaviors that you will be attacked. So, comparing this to what the Democrats are now saying, it's basically, well, if you use rhetoric that the Democrats don't like, if you disagree with them, then you're asking for it, right? You're putting yourself in danger. What is it about political opposition to Democrats that is so dangerous? How are you provoking attack? How are you putting yourself in a position that is unsafe? I wonder. So, are you saying that Democrat voters are so violent, so hateful, that if they see a political opponent, they might shoot them? They can't take the rhetoric. I'm still waiting for that violent rhetoric. I remember the bloodbath comment. Do you remember the bloodbath comment? Where basically Trump said that there would be a bloodbath economically if he is not elected. And this is language that has been used for decades now. In fact, all of the Democrat pundits that were condemning Trump's use of the word were then put in a compilation of themselves saying it in an economic context, and nobody cared because this is just another attempt to present Trump as though he's violent. I repeat, he was president for 4 years. They claimed that he wouldn't leave office. They claimed that he would be a dictator. He never did anything of the sort. Prove me wrong. Show me any law or executive order from him. Show me anything at all to prove it. And don't say January 6th. Just January 6th is a bunch of boomers going through the velvet ropes after the cops opened doors for them and having a tour in the Capitol building. It's all the footage that was released, especially after Tucker Carlson published some more, shows that it was all so much nonsense. Seriously, do you really think that America, with the most guns per person in the world, I think, could have a coup with not a single gun by the people committing the coup? If Trump was trying to coup you, where was the military? Do you think he has not a single person loyal to him? It's just so ridiculous. It boggles the mind. Where's logic in any of this? Anyway, I am honestly quite pessimistic at that point, but perhaps I shouldn't be. He survived 2 attempts. Maybe he can keep the streak up until election day. Who knows? One can only hope. I think even if you're a Democrat and even if you hate Trump, you should still hope for it, because I don't think the results of a presidential candidate getting shot and killed would be beneficial at all. I think it would create conflict of a scale that is frightening to think about. And we, outside of the US, are all influenced heavily by the US. Whether it is the safety of the world in terms of preventing conflicts, whether it is economically, they are not only producers, they are also the main consumers of the world. So almost everybody is doing business with them. There's the petrodollar. The consequences for the rest of the world will be severe if any sort of major conflict broke out in the US. I think we should all hope that Trump remains in good health and that the election proceeds in a democratic fashion and we don't see anything that belongs in some sort of third world dictatorship, banana republic. Anyway, that's all from me. Thanks for watching, like, comment, and see you next time.